Hello there, my lovely stitchy friends. I'm Kat, and welcome to my channel, Catkin and Lillie, where we talk all things cross stitch. If you're new here, then I hope you'll enjoy hearing about my cross stitch and seeing all the updates of what I'm working on. And if you are a returning viewer, then thank you so much for coming back to spend some more time with me. Not least because I know there are so many FlossTubers popping up all over the place these days, which is not a surprise because we all love to talk about our cross stitch, but at least I know what I do. So I hugely appreciate you choosing to come and spend your precious stitching time with me. Stitching time or whatever you're doing while you're listening/watching to me. I suspect a lot of you are probably stitching. But anyway, today is FlossTube number 16 and it's the 7th of February 2024. And my needle has still been flying, so I have lots of progress to show you, although still just on the same 5 WIPs that we saw a couple of weeks ago, but there's lots of good progress to see. I have no new starts, but I do have one finish, and I do have a little bit of stash to share, which I hinted at in the last FlossTube episode, and it has arrived literally today, so I'm really excited to share that with you. But first, let's see where I got up to with my WIPs. So first up, we have Castle Homecoming Stitch Along by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And part 10 is out, so the picture there is all of it. That's all 10 parts released. And I started this one back in, I think, end of May 2023, which is pretty much when it started. And I've kept up quite well with it. So I'm still working on part 10. I finished part 9, but I have started in on part 10. And you'll see from the picture, there's a lot of clouds to do. So I'll show you where I've got up to so far. Here we go. Let's try and get it square. So that's the whole picture where it is right now. So I've done all this lovely floral border up here. And as I say, part 10 is clouds. So I've made a start. I'll bring this in a little bit. There's some clouds that I've started over here and some swirls of magic. And that just keeps going all the way along here. So I've got lots of that to stitch. And I did get to stitch, I'm going to show you this little guy here. He is fabulous. That was at the end of part 9. I was waiting. He was my treat to finish when I, my treat to stitch when I finished the floral border. And look at him. He's amazing. So that is looking brilliant. Really pleased that I've managed to keep up. As I say, it's all out now, so my aim was to try and finish by the end of February, and I think that's doable. Now, remember that jousting flag as well that I talked about last time, that I hadn't stitched because I was trying to work out what colours? Still not stitched. Did you see? Look. Where is it? I have to keep trying to find it. Look, there's just a gap now. I've actually frogged it. Now I just have a gap with some nice big holes in my fabric. So that was in part 8 and I still haven't done it. Obviously I am going to have to do that at some point. But part 9's done, part 10, so I'm started on that. So it is all looking really good. If I can just get my head around that jousting flag, then I think we will be on for the February finish. So yay! Next we have my Chameleon, so the Menagerie Illusion by Bothy Threads. And I have again been putting in a lot of stitches. No, I'm still not that close to a finish, but again, I've put up where I was last time, and I think you'll agree I've made some quite nice progress again. So here we are. That's the whole thing. And so again, I've sort of been working down here, all the way down here. And I'll bring that in a little bit. That's where we're at. So for him, there is a bit more to fill in here, and then there's a whole bit on top of his head here. So there is still quite a lot to do, but yeah, it still feels like I'm getting there, but I still think I'm a little way off the finish on that one that I would really love. And I do struggle with this one a little bit sometimes. I'm always so excited to stitch it, and then whenever I stitch it, the threads they really feel quite rough. They're not DMC. I've heard that the Bothy Threads kits use a mix of Anchor and Madeira, and they just don't feel as nice to work with. I know some people really love them, so it is quite, personal, but I don't love them. I just find they don't lie as nicely. They feel rough. The stitches don't lie neatly like they do when I'm using DMC. So it makes it a bit more frustrating to stitch because I don't feel it looks as nice as it potentially could do. One thing I might try is maybe a bit of thread conditioner, because I really don't tend to use it generally for DMC because it doesn't need it. So I just feel like I'm wasting my time with that. But maybe it would be good for this one. It might be annoying to find out now I've done this much of the project that actually it helped, but maybe I'll give it a go. So now we are on to Chromatic Dragon, my huge full coverage piece, which I started in September 2023. And last time we chatted, I had just hit 11% on the day of recording. And the time before that, which was 2 weeks beforehand, I just hit 10% on the day of recording. So have I kept up? Have I hit 12% on the day of recording? No, because I've gone past 12%. I'm now at 12.41%, which is 25,970 stitches. It's a lot of stitches, 25,000. So this is what it looks like. That's what 25,000 stitches of a dragon looks like. Isn't it stunning? Now, I've done a bit more up here, I think, and I've done a little bit here. Most of it's been in this area, I think, since we last chatted. And I'll try and come in. This is very, very confetti heavy. So yes, that particular area is a lot of confetti. So it's definitely slowed me down a little bit. But you will be delighted to hear, I'm sure. Well, I was delighted. Maybe you don't care. But I reached my WIP Go goal for the dragon, which was to put in 5,000 stitches. In fact, I smashed it. I did 6,516 stitches. That's amazing. I don't think I would have guessed I could stitch that much. That was just over 13 days. So that average is 501 stitches per day on each of those days. So I know I did try and really put the stitches in because I didn't want to miss my 5,000 goal. And yeah, I overshot a bit, but I'm really happy because it just means that I've pushed that project forward that little bit quicker, which is really nice. And I'm not going to be stitching that much on it this month because there are a few other projects you'll see, one other in particular that's probably lost out a bit because I was pushing hard on the dragons. So I'm definitely not going to be stitching that much certainly not for February, probably not until, again, it gets called on WIP Go again. Next one is my Joan Elliott design, so that's the Winter's Gift that I've been stitching since December, beginning of December 2023, and it is my weekend stitch, but somehow in January it got 13 days, so I don't know how that happened. Who can say? But it did at least mean, again, that I've got loads of good progress, so let's see where that's up to. And this is where I'm going to need a bigger board at some point for this one. It's quite tricksy because it's getting quite big. But look at that. Wow. So this one, you'll see I've made loads of progress in this pale section of fabric under here and started in on the red coming in there as well. So let's bring that in a little bit so you can see. Because it's absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Obviously, I'm still very much in love with this one, and it's still going away at the end of February, so I'm really just trying to enjoy it while I can. I think I was looking at the picture the other day, and I think I've done maybe half. I was trying to guess, obviously it's a bit difficult to tell, but maybe about half of it, and that was since the beginning of December. Did I say December? Yeah. So yes. I'm absolutely not going to have it finished by the end of February. There were some times I thought maybe I could, but that is very wishful thinking. That's 3 weeks to go. So no, I'm just going to enjoy what I can. I might put in, I'm not going to do any of the beading until the end, but I might do a bit of the Chromatic. I think there's some Chromatic backstitch on the dress. So I might do that. It might be nice to have a bit of that in before I put it away. So maybe just see how much I can do and do some of that chronic back stitch. And I think hopefully then there'll be a nice point to leave it for a little bit. And my fifth and final WIP is the Christmas mugs by Shannon Christine Designs, which is still the project that's getting the least love at the moment. I have done some, but there are now 3 mugs. The first 3 mugs are out, and I'm still working on the first one. So not very impressive. So here's where we're at. There we go. Still mug number 1. Does have a face, half a face. And it's looking lovely. But yeah, I think this one is just, it's kind of at the bottom of the pecking order. I'm still working on it, but compared to the other WIPs, it's definitely lost out a bit. And I really like to put some more stitches in on this one for February, but I don't know. It still might lose out because there's some new starts to happen. So I'm kind of honestly just not worrying about keeping up with this, just doing what I can. And if it falls to the bottom of the pile and I don't do loads on it, that's not a huge problem. So that is my WIPs, my same old, 5 that I've been working on for a little while. But I did say I also had a finish, and that was the Bear and Envelope. That was my design that I was working on and test stitching, which has now been released. So here he is in all his glory. Doesn't he just look so happy? He looks so cute. So I'm really happy with that one. And if I get round to it, I might even try and FFO it into a greeting card for lovely husband Dr. Tim, if he's lucky. He definitely deserves it. It's just whether I get round to doing it or not. So I have hinted now that there are a few things kind of lined up ready for me to start this month. And one of those you've heard me talk about before, and I would have hoped I would have started it by now. I'll put the picture up. It's the Wonders of the James Webb Space Telescope stitch along by Climbing Goat Designs. And I so want to start this, but I'm still waiting on my fabric. 2 pieces of fabric I've ordered, one 5 weeks ago and one 3 weeks ago. Like I say, it's hand-dyed fabric. I can't make it come any quicker, but I really wish I could because I really want to start this one. I have got to the point I have so that I can start. I have pulled all of the threads. So this is all the threads. Some nice yellows in there as well. You can't see them very well. Some yellowy colours and lots of blues and rusty colours. I've pulled all those ready so that as soon as I get the fabric, I can pick which one I want to use and dive straight into it. Honestly, at this rate, I half expect part 2 to be out before I even get to starting it. Part 1 came out on the 25th of January, and it's the 25th of every month. So I've only got a couple of weeks till part 2 comes out. So I don't even know if I'll be able to start by the next time we chat. I really hope so. But in the meantime, I do have something that I will be able to start fairly soon because this arrived. This arrived just yesterday. And you might recognise the box design, but it's not my Cotton and Twine subscription box from the Historical Sampler Company, but it is from the Historical Sampler Company. And I have to say a really huge thank you to them and be honest and say that they gifted me this box, which was funny because it's something I was possibly going to buy anyway, but they offered me the chance to get the box, and of course I said yes. So this is, I'll put the picture up first and show you, this is the All Things Grow With Love Stitch Along with the add-on goodie box, gift box I think is the official name for it. So it's got, I'll show you the bits and pieces in here. So it has a lovely envelope which has the fabric and threads in it. So there's the fabric and threads, really lovely. I've just got, I'm not going to open it out because it's not very exciting. The fabric is just 16 count white Aida. But how lovely are those threads going to look on that white Aida? Really pretty colours. I've already looped mine on. They don't come looped on like this. I've looped mine on ready. So the design is all going to be full. Obviously we haven't seen much of it, just the little sneak peek that I've put up for you, but just lovely little kind of Scandi style motifs, and obviously with those beautiful, beautiful spring colours. So it's going to be an absolute delight to stitch. I'm sure of it. But like I say, I also got the goodie box. So let me show you what's in there. Although I have to say that the stitch along, you can still get that. You can get a kit with either the 16 count Aida that I've gone for or a 32 count linen. So you've got the two options there, and that's the first time they've offered linen as an option. It's always been Aida before, so it's really nice. I've still gone Aida because it's going to be so much quicker for me to stitch, and I've got so much going on that I just went for the Aida. But fabulous that they're now offering a linen option, because I know a lot of people will really want that. So you can get that as the kit with either of those two fabric options, or you can just get the PDF, which is probably what I'd do, to be honest. I would probably just buy the PDF. Okay, so I said I had the gift box add-on as well, and it feels a little bit cheeky showing you this in that you can't buy that part of it anymore. That gift box part is sold out, but I still think it's worthwhile showing you just in case you're tempted by any of the boxes in the future and want to see what the sort of things are that are in there. And the first thing that's in there is this, let me put it on my board, Nerge hoop. It's quite a large one, as you can see, and if you know me by now, if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I don't like to use hoops. I stitch in hand, everything, even the hugest of projects, I stitch in hand. But every now and then, I do like to go back and try a hoop again, because you never know, I might decide that I don't hate it anymore. And a lot of people have said these Nerge hoops are really good, and it's quite a nice big size, so I'm going to give it a go. And it's pink, so I kind of have to, right? So, other than that, what else have we got? We've got thump, beautiful project bag. Oh, do you know what? I actually didn't even really realise. It does say the same on both sides. So it's sold as a cosmetic bag, this, but it would be absolutely lovely for putting a small project in, particularly something I'm maybe taking to work. So yeah, definitely going to be making use of that. There are some floss drops, which are flower shaped. Now, I'm going to show you, I was thinking, I did a really silly thing, because I was like, well, that's a tiny hole to put your things in. I think they've put them on here like this, but actually, you would, if I put it on the small one, and then you've got this hole in the middle for your thread to go through. So that's quite cute. The problem is I'm not sure how I'm going to use it when there's only 4 of them, if I'm perfectly honest. But they're super cute. I really love them. If I could get my hands on more, I probably would. Yeah, I don't know quite what I'm going to do with those, but I do really like them. I also really like, they've included scissors. Look, this is the cutest little packet. And here are the scissors. These are, I'm trying to show you, because these are so dinky. Look how tiny these are. And they're super sharp. I haven't actually tried cutting with them yet. I'll have to report back on that. But they are so cute. Yeah, really love them. Absolutely, yeah. I don't know what it is about tiny, tiny cute scissors, but they're just adorable. And something that is usually tiny, but in this case isn't, is this needle minder. It's huge. I've got tiny scissors and a huge needle minder. And I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm definitely going to be using that. That will go perfectly with stitching my my stitch along. So yeah, absolutely love that. And finally, there are some little sweets, which is my least favourite bit because I'm more of a chocolate person, but I'll probably still eat them. So that is all the goodies in the gift box, which I think is amazing. And thank you again to the Historical Sampler Company for gifting it to me. I am really going to enjoy using all of those bits and pieces. I will report back on how I feel about the hoop and if the scissors cut well. But yeah, really excited. The stitch along starts, the first part is out on the 19th of January. So you've got time if you want to come and join in, and it's going to be 4 parts. coming out at 2 weekly intervals. So it's not actually even, it's only going to be over 8 weeks, which is good because it's kind of all out and, you know, I can get on with it. Whether I can keep up with that, with bits coming out every 2 weeks, I don't know. It kind of depends how much is in each part really, and I'd like to try and keep up, but I didn't do very well with the Christmas stitch along because the parts were really huge. It was a huge design. This is not as big. This is 26 centimetres square. So it's not going to be crazy big. So I feel like I've got a bit more chance of keeping up with it and sharing how I get on with that. So I will pop a link in the description below if you're interested in this, and let me know if you're stitching it. If you've already signed up or if you're going to sign up, then yeah, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know if you're stitching it as well. Now, I did say I had a very exciting piece of new stash to share with you, and obviously not the fabric that I'm still waiting on several pieces of fabric, but in the meantime, I hinted I'd ordered something and it has arrived. We're pretty much doing a live unboxing because look, this has just rocked up today. And I've opened it a little bit because I didn't want everything to be rustly, but I haven't really looked at this too much. So I'm going to show you and pretty much see all of it for the first time as well. It's really exciting. And this is what it is. You ready? This is The Sorceress by Jane Elliott. It's so awesome. I absolutely love it. I just love all the details in this. There's a little owl, just even the boxes and things on here. The cat and the crystal ball. Just, it's amazing. It was another one I fell in love with when I saw it. And honestly, I didn't actually try to resist it for too long. I just went ahead and ordered it. And the reason is that obviously the winter's gift that I'm stitching was my first ever Joan Elliott design, and I absolutely love it. Not just because it's beautiful, but because it's so nice to stitch. The way it's charted and the way it all flows with the fabric and the threads, and it's just, the stitches come out looking really nice. I just have the best time when I'm stitching it. So I figured I would have the best time with this other Joan Elliott design. And again, I absolutely loved it. So I thought, why not? Well, why not is probably because I have quite a lot of other things to do. So I have no idea when this is going to fit into the schedule. I'm not planning on starting it anytime soon. But let's have a look at the other bits that came with it as well. So that's the pattern. And then I have ordered the fabric with it as well. So this is the fabric pictured, which if I have one complaint, and it's not even really a complaint, about Polstitches, which is where I ordered this from, I will put the link in the description. They are absolutely amazing. If I have one complaint, it's that the picture of the fabric is often a bit different, quite different to what turns up. But the fabric that turns up is stunning. So I never mind. It just sometimes looks a little different than what I thought, but it's always gorgeous. So, oh my goodness, I've not opened up and looked at this, and I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. Look at that. Wow. That's amazing. That is absolutely stunning. There's quite a lot of variegation in there. And I would say, you see that this is quite a bit lighter. I would say it doesn't really look like that. But as with the winter's gift, the fabric when it turned up, I thought looked better than what was in the picture. I think I'm going to say the same thing about this one. I'm looking down at it now and yeah, what's arrived is better than what's in the picture. So that is definitely a good thing. Not going to complain about that. And I've got the thread pack there as well. So that's all the threads. Turn those around actually a bit better on that side. So yeah, that's the threads. So that is gorgeous. And I did take these out because I knew they'd be waving around all over the place if I was be losing them at the bottom of the bag. So I've ordered that. So that's the Krynex these two are the same. So again, a few Chronics, and I've got the beads. These are so pretty. These beads. Look at these ones here. Wow. They are fabulous. Oh, we had a funny 5 on the focus at the end there, but I think it was all right. So that is that one, and for the moment I'm just going to sit and look at it. Although you know how well that goes when I say I'm not going to start something, it might pull me in. I might have to. But I have got quite a lot else. Maybe if that James Webb Space Telescope still isn't started, maybe I will do this instead. But yeah, I think I'm going to hang fire for a little bit. Just enjoy having it there to look at and ready to start whenever I feel the urge. So let's talk plans for the next couple of weeks and probably the rest of February. Well, on the WIP Go front, I completed my January goals, so that's fantastic. And my February goals are quite easy. The numbers that were picked was 5 days on a fancy lady, not going to be difficult, and 5 days on Christmas. Again, not going to be difficult. Maybe that will push me to do a bit more on the Christmas mugs. So that should be fairly straightforward. Other than that, I've already said I'd really like to finish the Castle Homecoming, so I'll definitely be working hard on that one. All the other WIPs you've seen, again, still going to be working on those. Enjoying my last few weeks of stitching on the Winter's Gift. And I will be starting the Stitch Along from the Historical Sampler Company, and hopefully, fingers crossed, starting the Wonders of the James Webb Space Telescope Stitch Along. So there's quite a lot going on. Hopefully some new starts by the next time we chat. That would be fantastic. And I have got some more designing up my sleeve. Nothing I can share yet. It's very early days on that one, but definitely going to be some more designing going on. I'm pretty sure I'll have something to share next time we chat on that front. In terms of life updates, any other business, I am trying to get in some work in the garden. So alongside cross stitch, gardening is also something that I really enjoy doing, and it's lovely this time of year. You start to see those first flowers coming out. So I've got some snowdrops, I've got hellebores, which I absolutely love, but it's really wet and windy. In fact, if you could hear any wind and rain during this video, then that'll be why, because it's really nasty out there at the moment, which means I can't really get out and do the tidying in the garden that I would like to do, but hopefully I can do that soon. And I mentioned in the last video that I was going to my first Stitchy meetup. So it was an afternoon with the Birmingham Stitchers and Pals, and it was amazing. It was so good. I don't think it was ever in doubt that they were going to be a fabulous, friendly and welcoming bunch, and I absolutely had a great afternoon. I got some stitching done. I put some stitches in on the Winter's Gift, but I also got to chat to some lovely, lovely stitchers, most of whom I probably won't remember names of. But yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone for being so welcoming. Particularly thank you to Tan and Kate for organising the event. And of course to my table buddies that I sat with. We had me, Kat, another Kat, Kate, one of the organisers, another Kate, and Hilary and Sue. So thank you guys for making it a really fun time for me. Oh, and I wanted to share that they also arranged for us to get a little gift as part of the afternoon, and they had these special needle minders made for us. So I thought I'd show that to you. I'm hoping I'm not going to blind you too much because it's really sparkly. This is beautiful heart. It was this colour or rainbow, and yeah, that was a difficult decision. But now if this looks enormous, it is. It's super, super lightweight. It's crazy how light this is. I can't believe it. And it does hold the needle really well. And I am now struggling to remember the name. I think it was Shiny Shazza was the person they said made it, but I'll find it and I'll pop a link in the description because I think they have a Facebook page. So yeah, it's really lovely, and actually it's working really well for the Winter's Gift because the colours match. So I'm using it when I'm stitching on the Winter's Gift at the moment. So yeah, I really enjoyed myself, and I will definitely be looking to go to some more stitchy events maybe even a longer kind of weekend retreat, but they get booked up so early I don't think I'll be able to get in on anything like that anytime soon. But yeah, I'm excited to repeat the experience. And that's it from me. So thank you very much for watching. And if you're not already a subscriber, I would love for you to become a subscriber so you don't miss out on seeing these FlossTube videos. And I do put out tip and tutorial videos as well, so I hope you might find those useful. Otherwise, I hope I'll see you back here in a couple of weeks for another catch up. Until then, happy stitching and bye for now.